So, new for you this morning, the FBI is sounding the alarm on fraudsters stealing land and property from right under the real owner. It's happening here in Arizona. In fact, while I was out interviewing experts on the warning signs, a couple approached me who happened to be going through the same thing.
So you have a listing agent who took a listing on your property and not from you.
Yes, and they actually forged the names and everything.
Yep.
Call it fate, serendipity, or just chance. But Taras and Anna Marie Glubish have bumped into somebody who may be able to help them with a major problem. All of a sudden, you're driving by your property.
Yesterday, and there's a sign on it.
For sale. Only thing is, they're not selling it. So who is?
And I says, well, I'm the property owner. So how come you sell my property when it's not for sale?
It was fraud. They got the listing for their vacant lot in Phoenix taken down. But they are far from the only ones who are going through this. It's happening to so many property owners. Kristen Mack is the president at North Star Title Agency, and she's working hard to educate agents, realtors, and owners like the Glubishes about this kind of fraud.
They're purchasing lists off of the dark web, right? So here's a list of property. Here's how you do the emails. Here's the scam. Here's how you work it.
The overwhelming majority of fraud happens on property like this, vacant lots that usually have an out-of-state or even out-of-country owner. But not always. Once the fraudsters have the names and property addresses, they reach out to a legit listing agent.
And so they take get the listing agreement, get all of the information from that seller. And what they don't realize is it's not the actual seller.
And while the listings go up and the wheels are in motion, the real seller doesn't have a clue. But the Glubishes have been through this before. How did you find out about it the first time?
Oh, same thing. Our neighbor called, actually, because they were interested in the property. So they found the listing.
But again, it was not for sale. Don Carroll is an investigator with the Arizona Attorney General's office, and he says if no one catches it before it's sold, the real owner has a whole new battle to deal with.
You have somebody who's bought the property, what we call a bona fide purchaser, who believes they legally purchased the property. And then it becomes an issue between the real property owner, the buyer, their attorneys, and the title insurance company.
He says many of those behind this kind of fraud are from out of the country, so it makes it hard to prosecute. But if it is done stateside, they can do more.
If a sale actually does occur, this money's going to go to a bank account. So that's how you prosecute it, is basically if a sale occurs, you follow the money.
So what can you do to try and stop this from happening to you?
Register for the title alert systems in every county that you own property. Set up the Google alert and just check in every once in a while. Check your tax record to make sure you have the right address.
Max says it's really all hands on deck to stop it, from realtors to title companies and owners themselves, like the Glubishes.
First place we're going to go is the police station, file a report. Then we're going to go down to the bank and then see what we can do as far as what we can do to put on the deed so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, some people have asked, how can this really happen? Well, deeds do have to be notarized in order to confirm the identity of the owner. So here's another way scammers are getting around. They're using false notaries or ones from out of state or the country, and they can be hard to trace. So the FBI wants to know if this has happened to you. You can report this kind of fraud online at tips.fbi.gov or to ic3.gov.